10 to 12 million. Yung napad nila noong 2019, up to 2019. Ngayon, naalala nyo noong February, early this year, February 2021, kasi noon, 65 million na ang ating nakalagay doon, 64 million na ata ang nakalagay nating mga total registry of voters natin doon. Noong 20... may tumutunog sa akin tawag. Okay. Sino kaya? Okay, sandali lang. At titingnan ko kung sino tumatawag na sa telepono.
Baka Sunny.
Hindi ko alam kung sino yung tumawag, ha? Pero siguro si Sunny yun, hindi siya makapasok. Wala, hindi ko makita rito kung sino ang tumawag. Anyway, hindi ako marunong mag-operate ng maraming stream ng maraming mga screen. Gagawa
Tawagan ko si Sunny.
Itanungin mo kung siya tumawag. Baka hindi siya makapasok.
Kahil, kung pwede makipag-consult ka kay Miss Elia Bellia dahil alam niya yung ginagawa niya as kay Sir Mel.
Sino?
Si Miss Elia Bellia, alam niya ang ginagawa niya. Basta nagkakaroon kami ng weekly huddle
Hindi ako marunong yan magkonsulta na sabayin sa ginagawa ko. Hindi ako marunong ng mga ganyan. Habang nag-fasilita ko, wala akong pwedeng buksan ng mga screen. So, basta ngayon,
ikaw na Carlo, mag-ano sa kanya? Makiusap.
Ngayon, palagay ko dapat si Mel ang mag-asikaso ng ating ganyan kasi hindi ko alam yung mga technical na yan. Pero going back to what I was explaining, in-explain ko yung history ng padded voters, di ba? Mula noong 1987 hanggang 2019, nakaabot na yan ng mga 12 million. Tapos last February, nag-purge ang COMELEC, nagtanggal ata sila ng sinasabi nilang mga 7 million. Last February, na-publish yun.
Sunny, ikaw daw tumawag kay El? Oo, nagsimula na. Ikaw nga wala. Makonect mo daw si Sunny? Propel.
Hindi ko makonect siya, dapat mag-connect.
Ikaw mag-connect.
Dapat mag-join doon sa link.
May number niya, password niya is 221571. Papadala ko sa'yo. Padala ko sa'yo.
Ang Facebook Messenger at mag-connect siya by join. Ngayon, balik na tayo doon. Tinanggal nila nung February mga 7 million. So, nabawasan yung ating stock ng mga botante, registry, from 64 naging 58 na lang, 58 million. Simula nung registration. Ngayon, nagsimula silang registration, di ba? Kailan natapos? October 30 ata natapos ang registration.
October 30.
Ngayon, ang sinasabi ata nito itong sino to, si spokesman, si Jess Jimenez, yung si Tabatsoy, sabi niya, mga 62 to 64 million ang ating mga registry. Wala pa silang nilalabas na fixed figure. Hinahanap pa sa
65 daw, 65.
65. So ngayon,
62 million ang mga bata. 52% I mean.
Hindi, mga ilan siguro mga 2 to 3 million yung mga overseas or 2 million lang ang registry sa overseas. Siguro yun ang nakakadagdag kaya nasa 64. 62.5 siguro yung local, tapos 2.5 yung abroad, no? Kaya siguro 65 lahat. Wala pa silang nilalabas na figure kasi
Walang official. Walang official.
Kaya bantayan natin kasi yun ang tingnan natin. Kaya ang ibig sabihin noon, mula sa 58 million, nag-increase papuntang 65 million. Kung 65 million ang ating total register ngayon. Ang increase, the 7 million ang increase, di ba?
Oo.
Pero kung tingnan mo yung increase doon sa ating yung sa census natin, sa Philippine Statistical Authority, yung projected increase ng botante ng mga population natin mula noong 2019 hanggang 2022, ang projection mga 4.2 to 4.5 million lang ang increase. Ngayon, bakit nagkaroon ng increase na from 58 to 65 million registered voters? Saan ang increase na nangyari yan? Marami bang nag-register na mga overseas Filipino, nagdagdag na dati hindi registered? So dapat ipakita nila yon, i-decompose nila, explain sa atin bakit gano'n ang increase.
Baka marami nagparehistro sa Spratle.
Marami siguro nagparehistro doon sa West Philippine Sea. Oh. So yan ang dapat nilang explain. Ngayon, yung mga politiko, takot na mag-ungkat nito. Kasi siyempre, ang COMELEC ang referee sa election, di ba? Takot sila na magsabi na, hey, kayo COMELEC, may ginagawa kayong kalokohan. Hindi makukuhan sila, may expose sila na, itong politikong ito, bantayan natin to, ipatalo natin to kasi nag-iingay ito laban sa COMELEC. Yan ang ginagawa ng mga sindikato dyan. Kaya takot sila. Kaya ngayon, since ang mga politiko takot, kailangan ang grupong katulad nung gagawin nila Bayan at saka nila Kasani na talagang magkuhan sila. Physically mag-camping doon para makuha ang attention ng public na ganito ang kalokohan ng COMELEC. Kasi tuwing election na, hindi na nababantayan yung COMELEC eh. Nandun na nakatutok ang focus ng mga tao sa mga kandidato, hindi ba? So wala lang.
Nagbantay kami 2016, nagbantay kami A-SWAT, kasama kami sina Ginchong, sina Ted si Tote Casinio, Tote. Pero ang nangyari, nung dumating na ako doon sa University of Manila, dahil sabi nila doon i-recount, walang baluta dumating. So mga alas 2, tinanong ko ulit sila kung saan ang mga baluta, sabi nila tapos na counting. Kasi matalo si Irap kung nag-recount doon sa Manila.
Kailan kayo nag-watch?
2016.
2016, hindi naman kandidato sa Irap noon ha?
Hindi, 2016. 2016.
Hindi kandidato sa Irap noon.
Si Lim.
Wala, 2016. Walang kandidatong Lim. Wala. 2016, panahon ni Kwan yun, Digong. Si Digong at saka sila Kwan ang kandidato.
Hindi ang mayor ba? Sama sa mayor?
Sa mayor kayo nagbabantay? Sa mayor
Hindi, ang inabantayan namin si Digong, si Bongbong, pero kung i-recount mo ang presidente, maapektuhan ang mga mayor, mga boto ng mayor. Kaya pinag-tigil nila ang counting sa Manila.
Yung monitoring ninyo, physical na counting ng ballots? Paano kayo nagmamonitor? Explain mo nga yung ginawa nyo?
Yan, may monitoring team kami na nag-monitor kung ilan na ang mga boto ng mga politiko. So mga alas 12, abante si Bongbong, Vice President. Pero nung mga alas 2 yata, nung nawagan nila ko, mga alas 2 o alas 3, tinawagan nila ko na, Ben, baka pwede ka pumunta sa headquarter kasi abante na si Lini. Nagabante si Lini ng 40,000 yata una, ay 20,000. Then ang boto ni Escudero na punta kay Lini. Nawalaan si Escudero ng 20,000 o 25,000 tapos na dagdag doon kay Lini. Doon nagsimula yan. Nang alas 4, lumaki ang abante ni Lini.
O kaya nga, di ba ginawan ko yan ng tula, yung Ode to May 2016? Once upon a midnight dreary, voters, watchers, tired and weary. Marcos win 1 million already, but Noynoy shouted nevermore. Yan, pinost ko yan dyan eh. Marami nagkalat yan sa buong web ngayon, yung ginagawa natin, yung sinasabi kong kwento.
Okay yung odd na yun eh.
Oh.
Baka makagawa ka pa ng iba.
Pag painumin ako ni Biyan ng Emperador, baka makagawa pa ako ng dagdag pa kasi yun ang mga style ni Edgar Allan Poe, nagkagawa ng poem.
Ito, lika.
Lasing siya.
Abot mo, baso mo.
Hindi, ang lambanog daw, lambanog pwede. Okay, Edgar Allan po ngayon. Once
Ngayon,
upon
ituloy ko yung kwento ko sa ngayong 2022 padding. Kung 65 million ngayon yung ating registered voters. So yung population natin mula 2019 hanggang 2022 nag-increase lang ng 4.2 million. Pero nag-increase yung ating registry by 7 million. From 58
may
to
population.
So ngayon, tingnan mo yung nangyari ngayon. Alam mo, yung increase ng population na 4.2 million, hindi lahat pwede mag-register yon. Kasi 68% lang noon or 67% ang mga 18 years old and above. So actually, ang pwede lang mag-increase doon sa population increase na registry ay mga 2.7 million lang ang madadagdag sa ating registry. So dapat, kung yung mga bagong botante lang ang nag-register, dapat nag-increase lang yung ating botante mula 58 million by 3 million lang at maximum. So 58 million plus 3, dapat 61 million lang yan. Bakit?
May calculation.
May 65 million na botante. Diba? So mayroong dapat explain ng COMELEC na 4 million na increase. Diba? Bien?
Okay.
So ngayon, simple arithmetic nga yan. Sabi ni Bill Clinton, maraming bagay na pwedeng ma-explain ng simple arithmetic. Bakit hindi ito marunong mag-arithmetic na COMELEC? Hanggang ngayon, hindi pwede mag-arithmetic. So dapat yun ang ating team doon sa pagkampo natin sa Enero. Araw-araw, punta tayo doon. COMELEC, explain nyo nga ito, bakit ganito? Araw-araw, tanungin natin sila hanggang sa may sumagot sa kanila. Explain nila kung bakit. Saan galing itong dagdag na 4 million? Ito ba yung mga dagdag na mga dating mga overseas Filipino na hindi registered? Tapos ngayon nag-register na ngayon? Yan, explain nila sa atin. At saka pwede pa silang magbigay sa atin ng listahan ng parang cohort distribution. Anong mga age bracket ang nandyan para makita natin kung sino ang mga 18 years old and above na mga bagong para makita natin. Bakit hindi sila nagkukwento ng ganon? Kasi pag election na, ang focus ng tao doon na sa mga kandidato. Wala na nagpo-focus sa COMELEC. Pag ikwento man sa mga kandidato, hey, tingnan yung COMELEC, madadaya kayo kung hindi nyo ito tingnan. Ang tingin ng mga kandidato naman, kung mayroong mga mandaraya sa kanilang kalaban namin, kami mas magaling din kami mandaya. So magdadayaan na lang sila. Yan ang kalokohang nangyayari sa ating eleksyon. So kailangan yung grupo na katulad natin, independent group na walang pakialam sa mga politiko, wala tayong stake sa eleksyon, tanungin natin ng COMELEC, bakit ganito ang mga numbers ninyo? Yan ang ginagawa natin. Hello Ed, bakit hindi ka nag-live ng mo dyan? Ed Nitoral, how are you? Para nagkikwentuhan tayo diretso. Naka-live tayo ngayon sa Facebook, so yung mga nasa Facebook din, nandyan. Ang iba sa inyo, i-monitor niyo yung mga comments sa atin dyan para masagot natin ng mga nagko-comment na mga tao na nakikinig sa atin. So, may tanong.
Ed.
May tanong ba kayo tungkol sa ating gagawing plano nila Bien? Si Bien at saka si Sunny ang may pakana nito. This is actually Sunny's idea. This is the brilliant idea of Kasani. Kasi si Kasani is a farmer advocate. At sabi niya sa akin, ganito mga ginagawa niya noon to promote farmer issues. So sabi niya, mabuti pa gawin din natin to sa COMELEC. Sabi ko, sige, gawin natin. Yun, kaya natuloy itong plano na Lamay ng Bayan. So Kasani, can you explain further what you did in the past related na similar dito sa ating gagawin sa Lamay ng Bayan? Hello, Kasani, wala kang sound.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, sabi ko, Ito yung ginagawa mo
Hello,
dati sa mga farmer issues mo eh.
meron akong sound.
Meron na.
Meron na.
Meron na.
Ah.
Okay. Okay. Sa farmers may panahon na kailangan namin tumaas ang presyo ng palay. May panahon na kailangan namin ng programa. May panahon na kailangan namin ng buto. May panahon na kailangan namin ng fertilizer. So, ang mga ginagawa dati yung mga ibang grupo pa-demonstrate sa Menjola. Pero sila lang, mamaya mag-demonstrate sa DA, mamaya mag-demonstrate sa DAR, kung ano-ano. Panahon na kailangan namin ng seeds, certified seeds. Ang ginawa namin, nag-propose muna kami, tapos naghintay kami ng 6 na buwan. And then, nung hindi kami mabigyan ng sagot, hindi pa uso yung 15-day response noon hindi wala pang ARTA noon. Hindi namin makuha ng sagot. So nagplano kami na mag-vigil, phase 1, yung leader lang muna, phase 2 kasama na yung official, phase 3 kasama na yung delegates, phase 4 padamihan na. Pero sa phase 1 pa lang, ang ginawa ko, punta ko sa opisina ng sekretary at sabi ko, mag-vigil ako dito maghapon. At kung kailangan magutom ako. Sabi nila, hindi ko pwede yan. Bakit? May masama ba akong gawa? Wala ko naman. Upo lang ako dito, hindi ko istorbohin ng operation nyo, hindi ko istorbohin ng mga bisita nyo. Pero sana kung may dumating na bisita, sumunod sa akin, sana pumila naman siya sa akin, hindi yung mauna siya. Kahit congressman. Of course, hindi naman. So pinabayaan ko lang, may labas-pasok and everything. Pero alam nila, nagbibigil ako doon sa labas. Ayun, di umabot ng tanghali, ayaw nila akong magutom. Ayun, tinawagan ako, kinausap ako through the undersecretary na, Kasani, uwi ka na lang muna, we'll work this out. In a few days, we will give you the budget that you need. Because from seeing it now, tinignan namin, okay itong proposal nyo, you need a grant of I think about 16 million yun noon. So, 2 days after, tumawag sa akin yung secretary. Sabi niya, Kasani, I have the check in front of me. I will write you first a check, half of that. Pero where do I address this? So, pina-address ko yan sa isang government agency para hindi ako mapasama dyan sa mga kalukuhan yan. Sila mamimili ng seeds namin, yun ay distribute namin sa mga farmers namin. Okay, another is, we wanted an audience with the president. Si Cory noon, kababaril lang sa Menjola nung 4 na farmer leaders namin na massacre sila. 1 week after, sabi namin walang mangyari sa atin dito kung ganyan. So, ang sinuggest ko sa grupo ko, mag-organize kami ng Peaceful Farmers Congress to be held in Manila, not in the province. If we can bring in about 3,000 to 4,000 farmer leaders. So, nagkaroon lang kami ng funding galing sa mga cooperative bank. Of course, that's alone to make the short story long. We got the people, we got the funding, we got the transportation, we got the police to cooperate with us, and we got the area which was in front of Luneta. And the strategy that all jeeps coming in with a colored balloon should go through all checkpoints entering Manila. Because they will go to Luneta for a short program. But we already negotiated for the takeover of the Rizal Stadium then, where no one will be there except our farmer leaders because we will hold our first small farmers congress. And the president may go there if she wants. We secure the area for the president. Ayun, so to make this story short, the president still did not like to meet with us. So, but when he saw that we were growing in number, he sent the 2 secretaries of agriculture and DAR. That time, si Sunny Dominguez and si Philip Wico. When they arrived, of course, they expected that we will give them a VIP. Of course, we gave them the front seat. Pero pinaalis ko yung electric fan dahil walang aircon yun noon. Sabi ko, alisin yung electric fan, kailangan kong pinawisan ng mga farmer leaders natin punta ng Manila, dapat mapawisan din sila na makinig sa atin at sabihin mo sa kanila na sila ay makikinig lang, hindi sila pwede magsalita.
Okay, so ganun klase mga techniques ang pwede nating gamitin dito sa ating plano na lamay ng bayan kasi walang umuusisan ito sa COMELEC eh. Solamente ang kandidato na nagpapahiwatig na may problema ang COMELEC ay ang kandidatura ni BBM. Kasi siyempre, nadaya siya noong 2016 eh. Kaya nga yung malaking reaction ng mga tao ngayon, kapag kampi kay BBM, ay galit yan, nagpapalabas ang tao ng galit sa election process. Yan ang isang malaking rason kung bakit ang taas ng surge ng suporta ng tao kay BBM. Kasi na-drama na gusto yung kanyang pagprotesta na hindi naman nakinig yung SCPET, ginawang kalokohan ng dalawang ponente, itong si Justice Kagaw, ang tawag ko dyan, si Justice Kagiwa na kaibigan ni Noynoy, na classmate ni Noynoy, inupuan lang nila. At ganon din itong si Marvic Leonen na anti-Marcos naman yan. Kaya talaga inupuan nila. Talagang ginago yung taong bayan. Ang sabi sa akin ng isang abogado, dapat yung ganyang klaseng mga protesta, batay sa ating constitution, ay dapat ma-resolve in 2 years. Yung katulad ng BP protest. Anong nangyari? Inupuan lang nila ng 4 na taon. Nagdesisyon sila nung ngayon lang taong ito. The 5th year. So it shows na yung ating election process from the point of the election day up to the institutions that address the correction of grievances, electoral grievances, mga inutil. They are not able to act with alacrity. Wala naman tayong sinasabi na dapat mag-decision in favor of Bongbong ang COMELEC. Gawin lang na mabilis ang desisyon. Bakit it took us 5 years para mag-desisyon? Tapos ngayon, in doubt pa yung pag-resolve nila. Kasi maraming mga statistical studies na nagpapakita na dinaya talaga ni Lenny nung grupo ni Lenny ang eleksyon sa BP elections. Ang isang matinding example dyan ay yung exit poll na ginawa ng SWS, ni Mahar Mangahas, at saka ng TV5. Ang kanilang sample point doon ay mga 62,000 exit interviews. Lumabas doon ang panalo sa exit poll ay si Bongbong. Pero hindi dinipensahan ni Mahar Mangahas. Kaya tinawag ko siya, wala siyang bayad, para depensahan itong SWS finding na talagang ganoon. Ang talagang nanalo sa eleksyon noon ay si BBM. Si Vice President ng bansa ay talagang ang totoo ay si Bongbong Marcos. Kaya siguro yan ang isang rason. Kaya ngayon, nadala yung taong bayan, nakita nila ang kalokohan ng COMELEC, nakita nila ang kalokohan ng SCPET, kaya ngayon, ganyan na lang ang kanilang bugso ng galit na pinapalabas nila through pagsuporta nila sa kandidatura ngayon ni Bongbong. Yan ang isang malaking explanation. Tatanong yung mga karibal ni Bongbong, bakit gano'n na lang ang suporta kay Bongbong? Ito, kasi galit yung taong bayan sa kalokohan ng COMELEC, kalokohan ng ating eleksyon. Kaya ngayon pinapagita nila ito. Tingnan natin kung kaya niyong dayain ngayon kami na ngayon ay sumusuporta kay Bongbong.
Yeah.
I am not campaigning for Bongbong. I am just describing the phenomenon that is happening right now. Dapat may mag-monitor sa atin noong ating Facebook at tingnan ko may mga nagko-comment sa ating mga sinasabi kasi we have to respond to it sa ating live feed dito sa ating Zoom kung mayroong mga sinasabi diyan.
How do you go to the Facebook ba? Ano ang i-type sa Facebook?
Naka-live.
Mag-open ka lang ng Facebook, view Facebook, tapos i-mute mo lang yung sound kasi magkakaroon ng echo kung hindi mo i-mute.
Hindi. How do you search the Facebook for our Malolos Congress. What is
You
the what
log
should
on, you go to my page kasi naka-live ito sa ating Facebook account.
Naka-live din sa akin.
Ha?
what do we type? Your name or Malolos
No,
Congress?
punta ka lang sa home ng Facebook. Sa home ng Facebook, kita mo.
Di kung outsider ka.
Ayan na, naka-live eh.
Oh, meron linagay dito Melo Gold 8 nandun din ba?
Ah,
Hindi, teka. When we want to see what we are discussing now and what we discussed before, where do we find it in the YouTube?
It is in YouTube. It is not recorded right now.
So,
It's not
live tayo sa
uploaded.
YouTube, sir, sa shadow natin.
Explain mo nga, Mel. Explain mo, Mel.
Ano sa chat yung link ng sa inyo sa Zoom chat, yung link ng page ni Sir Hel. So, kunin ko pa yung sa YouTube.
Hindi, ang tinatanong, ang kasali, yung sinasabi lang natin is to view our live feed right now sa Facebook kasi meron dong comment area eh. Ang tinatanong
okay.
naman yung mga record naman ng ating past. Wala pa tayo sa usapang ganon. We are just trying to monitor yung feed doon kasi meron dong comment area na kailangan mag-respond tayo doon sa mga nagko-comment sa ating live sa Facebook.
Sige, pwede palabasin dito yan.
Palabas na.
Nakalabas na dati. Naka-live stream tayo ngayon sa Facebook.
Anong gagawin ko? Sa Zoom, I go to Zoom. Ulit.
Sa home ng Facebook na pumunta. Facebook.
Home ng
Then,
Facebook.
home. Yan siya.
So mawawala ako ngayon dito sa inyo.
Hindi ah.
Okay, so si Wilma ata, walang problema. Kayang-kaya niyang tignan yung Facebook at saka itong Zoom at the same time. Hello, Mr. George. Welcome. And Miss Karen. This is the planning session for the Lamay ng Bayan. The plan to have a vigil in COMELEC starting January. Okay, so everybody is welcome to make your comments. Mr. Johnny Ventosa, what do you think of the plan to do the vigil? Johnny, you're around? Wala na, wala tatang baka lumabas si Johnny. Anyway, Mr. iPad, I don't know who Mr. iPad is as well.
I'm having my dinner. Here. Sorry, I'm having my dinner. Johnny Ventosa.
Yes, Johnny, we are asking you for your comment on the plan.
I'm having my dinner. I'll just come back later. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now, Mr. iPad, can you unmute and identify yourself? And also, Mr. George, also unmute. Hello. Welcome, everybody who is with us. Ito yung planning. What is this George doing? He is showing us some video that is not relevant. So we have to throw him out. Okay?
Galing, pagpatuloy mo.
Tinanggal na natin si George kasi kung ano mga sinasabi.
Si iPad na yun, ganun din yata. Nahingal.
Ewan ko kung anong ginagawa ni iPad.
Ayaw nilang reform. Gusto nila ang problema sa bayan.
Wala, nagpasok itong si George at saka ng gulo. May ganyan talagang mga tao eh. Mayroong comment si iPad to everyone. Hey, nigger, sa blast, tinan mo? Mga kalokohan nito. So also remove this iPad person. Kung ano mga sinasabi nitong mga gago. So,
Ayan sa screen
and,
ko, sir, yung mga comments dito sa aking stream.
okay, nandiyan ang mga
Mga
comment mo,
greetings
no?
pa naman.
Oo. So, anong mga sinasabi nila?
Yan nasa screen ko.
So,
Mga greetings pa naman.
i-share mo ang screen mo ipalaki mo. Nakashare ang screen mo, no? Pero how do we make it view na malaki ang view mo? Ayan. Okay. So, good evening po sa lahat. Nag-good evening sila sa atin. So, we are greeting them back. We are talking about the plan to have the Lamay ng Bayan, and the principal sponsors are here with us. Si Lakasani at saka sila Bayan Lorque. Bayan Lorque is the leader of the Seamen group, and Sunny Domingo is a farmer leader also. And you can join the Zoom meeting if you want. The links are there in the Facebook announcement of this meeting. And you can join us if you want to discuss this matter with us. You can also comment there, which we are seeing right now in our screen. And we can also answer your questions in case you have questions that you post in the comment area of the Facebook thing, because we are also live streaming this meeting in my Facebook page. So, going back to our agenda planning, Kasani, can you outline so far how you are planning to get this done? Kasani, can you begin to give an idea to the group kung paano ba natin gagawin itong plano natin? Wala atong, ayan, si Kasani nandyan na. Okay. So, go ahead,
Maybe,
Kasani.
yeah. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We just have to outline maybe because you cannot work out the details. There are first I will update you. There are groups that are trying to join us, and even the group of they're trying to bring Normie Swari to talk to me about it. It's a federation. Something like, I don't know if you've heard of this group, Egalitarian Federation. Of course, we have 3 regions already who has enrolled with us to participate in the BGL Lamay ng Bayan. They like the idea. And in general, the idea is we will first have a small, first of course, assuming that we got the permission of using the space of the in front of the cathedral. I don't know whether we should be revealing all of this because we might be preempted. You know, like for example, what we are planning now is they will start doing the same thing, and we will have no space in the area afterwards. When we talk about all these things here, I think it should be a closed session rather than an open session. But if I am assuming that whoever joined us here should also know it, right? Am I on that basis?
Okay,
All who have joined us here.
I understand your concerns. Okay, but they can create it and they can do it. Nobody's preventing them from doing it, and then we will join them.
No, the problem is they'll do it so that we'll be prevented from doing it, and they'll do another thing.
Yeah, then we will just be present there, and
then we cannot get any other permit. We cannot get this space anymore.
Okay, so as you said, we will go to the Manila Cathedral and stay in the Manila Cathedral. Then if the people from Manila Cathedral allows us to camp in the Manila Cathedral grounds, then they cannot stop us from being there because that is a private area.
Okay, anyway, I have said that already. I'm just saying that if I give the other plans, it might impair whatever tactical and strategic advantage we have in whatever we plan. Doing
Okay,
it openly
so
here, unless
I understand that.
everybody commits that they're part of that.
So
So
we can,
like we had a George.
okay.
Yeah, we had a
I
George,
understand,
we had an
I
iPod.
understand. So we can discuss what we can discuss here, which are the conceptual issues involved. I started
Yeah.
talking about the calling attention to the fact that our election registries are padded with a lot of votes. And, you know, there are many ways to pad it. One way is to not to remove the transfer of registries. Another way is not to remove the people who are dying. This registry of the COMELEC is never vetted against the civil registry of the country, wherein births and deaths are reported, you know, the civil registrar. And there is no effort to check this because it is to the interest of the political class to have this list in the dark so that they can easily manipulate this list for their plans of cheating in elections. Because not all candidates are honestly vying for office without resorting to cheating. Most of them have their cheating effort. And because anyway, sinasabi nila may mandadaya, kami rin meron na kaming counterdaya. Ano ba? Sila lang ang magaling mandaya, kami rin magaling din kaming mandaya. So it becomes a spiral of counterdaya, dayaan and counterdaya, and we have this type of elections that we keep on having every time we go through this exercise every 3 years. That is why we are talking about this, and the reason why I know the concerns of Kasani about the plans being done.
Openly discussed.
But that can be exposed when they try to do that because what they're planning is a long-term marathon. We are planning a 5-month vigil. Kaya ba nilang gawin yon? Now, if somebody takes a permit for 5 months, di-expose natin sila. Ang grupong ito, kumuha lang ng permit para hindi kami maka-meeting yan. Then we can have other private groups there to give us that space so that we can continue what we're doing. So they are frustrated anyway. Ano ba?
I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
I have a suggestion that they register with us on the next meeting, so that we know that they are committed to join the planning for this or whatever they would like to contribute to this. So so maybe ikuan ko muna, pass na muna yung details, and then let's register everyone to join us on next Sunday evening meeting for the virtual planning. As we try to have a face-to-face planning with some other commitments coming in with us.
Okay.
Akin, may isa akong suggestion na just in case na hindi tayo papayagan doon sa harap ng COMELEC. I suggest na sa Freedom Park tayo mag-vigil. Dahil freedom yan. So, wala silang karapatan tanggalan tayo ng freedom because that was granted by the Constitution that no freedom shall be taken from us.
Shall be impaired.
Oo. So, kung ayaw nila tayo payagan doon sa harap ng COMELEC, then let's go to Liwasang Bonifacio, doon sa Freedom Park.
O doon, gusto lang yung sabihin nun, pag hindi tayo makinig sa amin, hindi magre-revolusyon na tayo.
Saka na yan, hindi pa naman revolusyon.
Yan ang ginawa ni Juan.
May nagpaputok na.
Kaya ang ginawa ni Chairman Normiswari. Stayed there 7 days asking for solutions to what's happening, and they did not listen to him. So he went to the mountains of Mindanao.
So So, ganun nga. But this is this idea of yours, Kasani, is worth supporting. That is why I think we are mobilizing. A lot of people are frustrated about this election process sa atin. But they are not finding a way to express that anger.
Yeah.
One way was to express their support for BBM. That is one way that the people are making that expression. Another way is doing this effort that we are doing and supporting this effort by giving them something to support to express their anger against these electoral processes that we're going through and the way the political class is effectively in cahoots with the COMELEC because they have their private agenda of winning their electoral contest. So a group like ours that are not involved in the elections directly, we have no stake, we have no candidate, we are not candidates ourselves. Engineer Bian Lorque, who was formerly a candidate for vice president under the KDP, has already withdrawn from contention. So we are not in any way involved in terms of personal interest as to the outcome of the election. So hindi tayo pwedeng matakot sa COMELEC. Ang gusto lang nating malaman, ano talaga ang totoo dito sa mga padded voters. At kasi, alam mo, yung padded voters, yan ang bala ng mga cheating syndicates. Habang may padded voters dyan, gagawin nila, yan ang gagamitin nila para magawa nila yung kanilang pandaraya. Ngayon, kung alisin mo yung padded voters sa COMELEC, kahit nandiyan pa yung mga sindikato na may baril, wala silang bala, wala silang magagawa. So, this COMELEC has to explain to us, bakit meron kayong mga padded voters dyan? Why are you not making the effort to clean it up? Meron pa kayong mga sinasabing pautot na mga All Souls something, check-up na yung mga relatives mag-report ng mga patay nilang relatives. Eh, meron namang civil registry na pwede nyo i-check. Kung patay na yung mga tao, tanggalin nyo sa inyong listahan. Ba't hindi nyo ginagawa? Bakit kailangan pa yung mga tao mag-report ng mga relatives nila namatay para alisin? Kalokohan yan. Gumagawa lang kayo ng rason para ma-maintain yung mga patay na tao dyan sa listahan ng COMELEC.
Yeah, or maybe, maybe we should suggest that the COMELEC will submit to the civil registry before they print the names before the election. So it should be certified by the civil registry. We should have that kind of requirement. So maybe this early, we should propose that.
Pero yung COMELEC, alam mo, bakit kayo makialam sa amin? We are a constitutional body. We are independent. Nobody can suggest anything to us. We are a law unto ourselves because we are constitutionally protected. Ganyan kayabang yung COMELEC na yan. Because this process of giving them constitutional protection and now is abused and is used by the syndicates to hide themselves from us. They become virtual untouchables. Yan ang kalokohang nangyayari dyan sa COMELEC.
Kaya sabi ko na inabuso nilang konstitusyon kasi napakaliwanag naman, sovereignty reside in the people. And all government officials, authority of government, emanate from the people. Ngayon nagyabang sila na kun-kun sila. Eh, para ba sila na ang may supreme, hindi na taong bayan.
Anyway, may I share that that thing could be broken here. Because, for example, NAMPREL is the official citizens arm of the COMELEC, right?
It is not anymore. It's
No.
CRB.
It started that way.
Okay.
NAMPREL was only citizens arm of COMELEC, meaning they could get results on time from the election, and NAMPREL can collate in time, in real time. So they had that monopoly before the snap election. Now, since they are a constitutional body, we made an appeal with the Office of the President that the citizens arm should not only be one with COMELEC, there should be another citizens arm because you will never know what the NAMPREL will do which they might be doing and which they did in past elections, because they are financed by a big guy, no? So okay, we got ourselves another big guy, and we organized the mover. The mover is the Movement for Electoral Reform. So we had the chairman who spent billions on it, and I was the president, and we had our own operation center in one of the hotels in Manila. So at that time, when counting was ongoing, what NAMFREL had, we also had it. So we had congressmen, governors, senators coming into our office also to see the status of the election on the 11th hour, for example. So we knew that Marcos won also. So that means that is not cut on stone. Their constitutionality is not cut on stone, because the president is still over and above the Constitution if you look at it that way. If the president allows another citizen's arm, na ngayon ang citizen's arm lang, NAMFREL na naman, kasi nawala na yung mover.
Wala. Andiyan PPCRB nga eh. PPCRB.
And then, yun. Okay. Ngayon, napalitan kami ng
PPCRB.
PCRB.
And the PPCRB
Pero
whitewashes the elections by saying that
Yeah.
the integrity of the COMELEC results are credible.
yeah, but anyway, parang sama-sama pa rin sila dyan. So, there must be a way that we can do better.
No,
Now.
our effort, whether we do it through a vigil, whether we do it by constantly having a meeting about this every Sunday in the up to election day from now, if we cannot mount the physical vigil, then we continue every Sunday talking about this and doing our
Yes,
research.
So may I suggest that this will be open, but we give them an email where they can email the details so that they get the invitation, rather than it's an open invitation.
It will be done because the Lamay ng Bayan is in effect a project of the coalition of the commons, right?
Yes. So now the planning
physically
Yeah.
organize itself and write official communications to the COMELEC, asking them to explain about these padded voters.
Yes, that's what I mean. That's what we need to do. And then we can give them a solution like having the civil register certify the municipal voters or things like that. But anyway, going back to what we can do better, as I say, is with the Lamay ng Bayan, first, we need to have people supporting us in this Zoom meeting now. Yung mga nandito na, I hope that they can give their email address to you so that the next time around, they can be given the link on that, and then we announce, and also they can invite 5 other friends to commit to joining the Lamay ng Bayan consultation, which we are doing now. So we would know who is coming in. We just don't allow any George IPT or whatever coming in and destroying the meeting that we have.
Okay, so I think
Si Kasani Bintosa nag-angat ng kamay, may sasabihin niya.
okay, let's listen to Johnny. Johnny, go ahead. And can you unmute, Johnny? Okay, go ahead.
I really have a question. Do you people agree that the government is totally unconstitutional right now?
How is that relevant to what we want to do?
Okay, this is what I'm trying to say. I mean, you're talking about elections, and I'm talking about the people that are going to be elected, all the senators and even the existing senators and congressmen and all that. They're part of the government, and they are part of the mandates. This mandate is going on are illegal and unconstitutional, and yet none of them has ever stood up and questioned DOH and FDA and IATF and whatever FF they're going on. I mean, they're all really simply following orders of, I don't know whose orders they're following. But we, the people, are the ones who are suffering here. People are being vaccinated and people are going to die. With this third booster, I'm telling you, the death series is going to be horrifying. My point is, I think we should start off with this whole thing. You know, this Lamay ng Bayan, I am all for it. You cannot imagine how happy I am to realize that you people are planning this. It is fantastic because the people have to be informed. The people are not informed. They don't realize that the mandates are illegal. Even if we're given the consent to agree with the mandate or not, the fact that there is a mandate, it is illegal. I'm not a lawyer, but I think it is illegal. It is true. We can say yes or no, but the moment you put a mandate in action, that is in itself illegal. So I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not trying to put anybody down, but I am so happy that you people are going to this Lamay ng Bayan. I really am so happy because it will give you a chance to inform the people of what's going on. And don't be offended. Please don't be offended. This is my opinion. We are barking. We are barking.
Yeah, we are not
We are
offended.
barking on the elections. But I mean, can you change that in 7 months?
Because we are barking on the elections because the elections is the source of the transfer of power in our country. It is
Yes, I
on
agree. I
decision
agree with you, Hill. I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
But it has not worked. It has not worked for so many years. It has not
Yes,
worked
but
for
the
the past
alternative
6 years.
the alternative to what we are doing is going to the hills like the NPA, and they have been at it also for 50 years, and they have not succeeded. The alternative is also, if we don't do these things, the alternative is for the military to do a coup d'etat and change this government. And we are not into that because we are not capable of doing that. And at the same time, I don't think everybody here would have the consensus to do it. So we can still do the usual civilian politics that we can do and do what we can. As I was explaining to Kasani, yung magagawa natin, yun ang gawin natin. We can do Lamay ng Bayan, so let's do it as an outlet.
I love that idea. I love that idea. Believe you
Kaya
me.
that is the main intent and purpose of the Lamay ng Bayan kasi namatay ang demokrasya. So namatay ang demokrasya, ang gagawin na lang ng mga mamayang Pilipino
Paglamay.
ay maglamay.
Yeah.
No, it's
Hello.
serious, and I agree with you. I agree with
Mr.
you
Chairman.
wholeheartedly.
Mr. Chairman, may I come in?
Yes, go ahead.
I think what Johnny would like us to include in whatever we're discussing is the things that are happening now, the reality of having this problem on IATF injection and all these other things coming in as part of the Lamay ng Bayan. If we can agree on that, other things could of course come in. So I think we have to subject ourselves to the consensus of the many. That is well taken, Mr. Johnny. And I do agree with you that there are things we must also ask the COMELEC to if you are Lamay ng Bayan, para sa COMELEC yan eh. COMELEC lang ang target natin. Things like that on the IITF and the vaccine, maybe we can use the Freedom Park to do it. And I think we would be just too happy to join you there. But for this moment, the Lamay ng Bayan is a preparation meeting that we are doing here. And everybody, in fact, there are demonstrations by members of our group in the Malolos Congress who are now doing this. Too bad that he's not around to explain. In fact, they've done some demonstrations already, and they are now also with the military because some military personnel doesn't want to be injected. But because of the role that the follow first, way first, the command, well, they are now, they believe they are now being put in a corner. So we sympathize with this military. We sympathize with people like you. We sympathize with what needs to be done first before even talking of the election. It just so happened that we can only do this much. The group we have organized now under the coalition of the common is to just choose a common enemy, and they choose the battleground and cross the Rubicon. That's what we're doing. We are now crossing the Rubicon. We are now exposing ourselves to planning even openly in the Zoom meeting so that even anybody can listen to us, except that I'm a little bit cautious because I'm asked to be the one doing the strategic planning, as I have done it many years ago and in many times, and we got what we want from the government, even if it was considered unconstitutional. Like I was one of the movers of the mover. So I am the president and we had the chairman. He spent for everything. What Namfrel got, we also got it. So we knew that somebody was a winner there. And of course, we get that's history already. Meaning, I'm trying to say here that even a constitutional body like the COMELEC cannot say they are a sacred cow. What if you kill the cow?
Let me elaborate.
Prof. Hel Kasane, I have a comment on what you say. I think what Kajani Bintosa is telling us has a relevancy because when it comes to mandatory vaccination, which are being proposed by some congressman in the House of Representatives, na ipasa ang vaccine passport. Dahil ngayon eleksyon, ito panahon na makapagsalita ang mga mamamayan na what the politicians are doing are against the Constitution. So I think the relevancy is there. So kaya ako nagsabi ako sa ibang mga against sa vaccination na kung sumama kayo sa Lamay ng Bayan, you are open to say something about these people who are promoting mandatory vaccination.
That can be part of
Relevant sa eleksyon.
That's
Manalo
correct.
yan, lalo gagawin niya ang kalokohan.
That's correct, Kabian. Although we are open to this thing, as is being explained by Kasani, the Lamay ng Bayan is a project of the Coalition of the Commons. The Coalition of the Commons is the mortar organization that evolved out of our plenary sessions in our Malolos Congress, which is a virtual group existing in the web. Now, the Coalition of the Commons have become a coalition of people wanting to do changes in our country, and this will also be the basis of moving the country towards a parliamentary setup, wherein the Coalition of the Commons, which is also derived from the House of Commons of Parliament in United Kingdom, is now the basis for a coalition of forces that will participate in a coalition government in a future parliament. Now, one of the projects, while the parliament is not yet there, we are working towards it. One of the projects is, for instance, fixing our election process, which is happening right now. And the idea of conceiving and planning for a Lamay ng Bayan or a Vigilia, which is from the Latin word vigilia, or to wake up, to be sleepless purposely for a purpose at night. And that's why the Vigilia is also the night watch of the ancient Roman Empire. We are watching during the night that what happened in the midnight of 2016, where our votes were stolen in the count, should not happen again. And that is why we are questioning the numbers of voters in the registries, because these are, as I explained, the ammunition which this syndicate with the guns will be using to cheat us and destroy our electoral sovereignty again. Now, we will be open to other issues when we are camping there at the Lamay ng Bayan. Yung lahat pwede magsalita kasi parang we are invoking the right of freedom to express everything, and most poignantly through an electoral process. However, while entertaining these different views, these different problems right now. We have many problems in the country. It's like if you fill them up, if you put them all in a Christmas tree, babagsak yung Christmas tree sa problema ng bayan. Kasi mabibigat ang problema ng bayan. But we will have to have focus during this effort of the Lamay ng Bayan. Our focus is one, expose the COMELEC for its nonchalance and no effort to correct these padded voters in the election registries. Okay, that's one. That is the main purpose of the Lamay ng Bayan there. And the second is to force the candidates for office right now to address this issue and not be afraid of the COMELEC because they are afraid of addressing this issue. Now, other matters we can talk about because we plan a 24/7 broadcast process. That's what we plan to do. While we are having the Survey ng Bayan and the Lamay ng Bayan, we will have a process of relays of Zoom meetings and Facebook live things that will be broadcast there in a live screen, which we plan to do, which we plan to have in the camping area. And then we will have a constant activity there so that there are a lot of people will be involved. They go to the Lamay ng Bayan site, they sign a logbook, they sign petitions physically. There are many ways. It's like a hub of center that we can allow different advocacy groups to come and register their particular advocacy with the Lamay ng Bayan. So that we will include it as part of the other things, the Christmas tree trimmings that you have to put into the whole problem of the country. So that is what we plan to do. So we are not closing the venue to other views and other advocacies. And that includes what Mr. Johnny Ventosa shared with us. Kasama yan. Kaya lang, at the same time, habang pinagsasama-sama natin ang lahat ng problema ng bayan, na pinaglalamayan natin, hindi tayo dapat mawala ng focus kung ano ang ating principal purpose kapag kampo doon sa harap ng COMELEC ay yung pag-ayos ng ating mga botante na registry natin. So that is what I am just trying to emphasize. Open tayo sa lahat ng ideya, pero let us not lose focus. Yun lang ang comment ko dyan sa sinabi ni Mr. Johnny Ventosa. So anybody else would like to add to that? Are there any comments in the Facebook page we have to respond to? Mr. Mel, are you monitoring that?
I think, Prof. Hill, I think let's hear from Mr. Cesar Holgado. He is on standby.
Okay.
Mr. Cesar Holgado, can you say something?
Okay.
Cesar Holgado, can you unmute, please? Di ata siya naka-ready. So, Mel, is there any message to be replied?
Walang,
Okay.
puro lang greetings.
Ano ba? May mga comment ba dyan?
Puro lang greetings, sir.
Wala namang comment?
Ayan, mga greetings lang.
Greetings lang lahat. Okay, so nakikinig sila sa atin. Okay. Naka-live stream din ba tayo sa iba nating mga platforms? Mel,
Yes, sir.
live stream ba?
Sa lahat ng mga shadow natin.
Ano?
Sa mga shadow site.
Doon sa YouTube channel natin.
Sa shadow.
Kinuhan mo rin?
Sa shadow?
Pati doon sa ating Congress, 1899 Congress YouTube channel.
Naka-live tayo doon.
Naka-live stream din doon.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So maraming kikinig sa atin. Kaya lang doon, we have to find a way later on. Pati ang mga comments doon ay makapture din natin. Hindi ko alam kung paano gawin yun eh. O sa ngayon muna, let us listen to Carlo Iway because he again raised his hand. Okay, Carlo, go ahead. What do you want to say?
Well, ang isang comment ko lang dito sa pangyayari ito no, is may connection talaga itong mga gamay na mga control ng mga oligarko na ito sa dinadama sa vaccine at sa pangyayari ko sa halalan natin. Control kasi ito ay sa totoo nang. Kaya dapat talaga bantayan din natin itong mga pangyayari ito at pupunta tayo sa mga pagbabakong kailangan gawin para sa bayan natin. Para maging mas masigasig pa tayo sa pagsiservis sa taong bayan. Yun po muna.
Yun ang nga sinasabi ko, hindi natin pinapabayaan yon, Carlo. Kaya lang, dito sa ating lamay ng bayan, huwag tayong mawala ng focus. Kasi, pag marami kang masyadong sinasabi, parang wala kang na rin sinabi. Dapat pag magmura ka, isang matinding mura lang para matindi ang dating. Pag marami ka nang sinabing mura, wala nang effect yung iba. Kaya focus natin yung pagmumura natin diyan sa election registrar, election registries. Na milyon-milyon ang nakatambak diyan na mga padded voters na hindi iniintindi ng COMELEC at hindi rin pinapakialaman ng mga kandidatong tumatakbo ngayon sa eleksyon dahil takot sila sa COMELEC.
Lalo ang mga nakaupo, hindi nakialam.
Pati yan, takot din sila. Kasi ang interest nila ngayon, yung mga nakaupo, ng mga kaibigan din ni Digong, ay manalo sa eleksyon. Kaya, pati yan, kumbaga sinasabi, nilalaro yung mga sindikato dyan sa COMELEC. Kasi ang interest nila, ang isip ng mga yan, manalo muna ako bago ko baguhin yan. Ang kagaguhan na nangyayari dyan, dahil ang pagkapanalo nila ay kalukuhan, nasali na sila sa kalukuhan, kasama na sila sa problema. Hindi na sila makapagsalita against COMELEC. Yan ang nangyayari kay Bongo. Si Bongo talaga #1 senator noong 2019. Pero dahil sa interest niyang manalo talaga, naniguro, nakipag-usap sa mga bata ni Andy Bautista. Siya nga rin na nagpalusot niya kay Andy Bautista. Siya nag-arrange ng meeting diyan kay Digong bago nawala si Andres Bautista. Ngayon, dahil nagbayad si Cynthia Villar diyan sa COMELEC para maging #1, tulad din ni Drillo noong 2016 para maging #1, o di dineliver ng sindikato yung #1 kay Cynthia Villar. Actually, #3 lang yan eh. Ang #1 talaga, based sa survey ng Bayan results, #1 si Bongo, #2 si Bato del Rosa. Dahil sa lakas ng kampanya sa kanila ni Digong. At that time, 2019, very popular pa si Digong. Si Tolentino, #6. Pumasok yan. Muntik nang madaya yan. Kaya lang talagang malakas yung kampanya. Kaya ngayon, dahil sa nakipag-usap sila, sa sarili nilang, they created their own private deals with the COMELEC. Ayan. Nung lumabas yung resulta ng #1 si Villar, hindi makaingay itong si Bongo. At saka narinig mo ba si Bongo na mag-criticize sa COMELEC? Wala. Ever since. Wala. Wala siyang malasakit sa mga bagay, sa mga ganyan, pero wala siyang malasakit sa eleksyon. Wala siyang sinasalita about it. Yan ang masasabi ko about this situation. Yan din kayo ng kalagayan ng mga kandidato na mga nandiyan ngayon. Kaya hindi sila makakapagsalita against COMELEC kasi mas interesado sila sa pagpanalo nilang pansarili kaysa sa pag-ayos ng eleksyon. Yan ang yan ang tunay na nangyayari sa ating bayan. Kaya ang gagawin natin diyan sa paglamay natin sa bayan is to expose these anomalies. Force the candidate. Pilitin ang kandidato magsalita tungkol dito. Lalo na kung mag-parliament na tayo, usually sa isang parlamento ang eleksyon madalas. Kasi minsan pagbagsak ng gobyerno, tatawag yung presidente ng bagong eleksyon. Dapat malinis ang ating proseso ng eleksyon. Yan ang ating dapat na tutukan. Yan ang ating ginagawa ngayon. Kasama sa elemento ng paghingi natin ng parlamento ay ang pagkakaroon ng malinis na electoral process. Hindi na pwede itong yung tagaguhang nangyayari sa present electoral system natin. Kaya ngayon nga, kaya maraming galit, maraming mga tumasuporta kay Bongbong sa present electoral system natin. Kaya ngayon nga, kaya maraming galit, maraming mga mute ng Facebook, may nagbukas ng Facebook. Kaya ngayon nga, kaya maraming galit. Okay, Kasani, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman. Yeah, dagdagan ko yun sa'yo. Actually, nung binigyan tayo ng demokrasya, kasama dyan yung COMELEC na, hindi ba? Yung 1935 Constitution. Because COMELEC is the symbol of democracy, which conducts election, the people wants to become the leader.
No, we can have democracy without COMELEC.
Yun na. No, what I'm saying is what happened. So, COMELEC is one of those tools for democracy to make sure that we have a leader that is really voted by the people. Now, COMELEC is killing us softly now. That's why we are targeting COMELEC. Our battleground is COMELEC. Our target is COMELEC. Our target is cleaning the registry of the COMELEC registration book. So, okay. Kanina, pinasok ni Mr. Beluso ba yun? Na dapat isama natin yung issue natin sa IATF. Sabi naman ni Ben, pwede yan. That's a relevant topic. So, in the 30 days or 60 days or 6 months vigil that we have, we can have a 1 day, 2 or 3 day na walang topic kundi yan. We get all the speakers. It will be an open platform for anyone to speak against IATF or against the forced vaccine. And then other days will be for the same reason. The reason I'm saying this is COMELEC is supposed to be the bastion and protector of democracy. Pero I saw the interview of Washington CSIP Gores with Karen Davila doon sa Head Start. Alam mo, ang sagot niya doon sa tanong, we were number 1 before, why are we left behind now? Why are we continuously being left behind now? Alam niyo ang sagot ni Washington CSIP ng SGB company? 2 things lang, sabi niya. The democracy we have now is what you call the premature democracy. Ibig sabihin, imbes na 9 months, parang 6 months, 7 months lang or 8 months lang itong pagpaanak ng democracy natin. Kaya deformed. Kaya may problema. Kaya kulang-kulang. But that should not be a problem to us because we are not trying to reform it with what we are doing. And the other answer he had is the RHB, the population control, RH bill has not been passed. So therefore, we leave the population growth to the bottom line while the upper are raking all the money. And of course, mentioned din niya, does it mean that the upper echelon in the society do not have sex the same way that the bottom line have sex? If they have sex every night, do you mean to say that the upper echelon only have sex once a month? So that's not logical, sabi niya. What the poor do, the rich also do. So therefore, the population growth should be not a basis for economic growth. There should be more than that must be done. Of course, in agriculture, we say productivity will provide the solution. Because the wealth of the nation among the poor is their children. The wealth of the nation among the rich is the money and profits that they get. The wealth of the nation for the government is the taxes that we collect from those who make money and less from those who have less. Yun lang, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, that is all well taken. And right now, our purpose here is to also bring out awareness, although I'm aware of the confidentiality requirements that you need for your tactical planning, Kasani. However, our effort right now with these meetings that we're having here in the Zoom and Facebook is to bring out awareness, yung para malaman ng taong bayan na may grupo na katulad ng sa inyong ginagawa ni Kabian na gumagalaw tungkol dito sa issue ng COMELEC. Kasi parang deadma nga sila lahat eh. Yung lahat ng kandidato deadma. Dahil nga sa sariling interest na sila ay ma-elect sa pwesto. Kaya itong mga, dahil diyan, nakakalusot in between the slots, itong ginagawa ng mga sindikato sa loob ng COMELEC. Saka totoo, COMELEC is important. Pero noon, nung sinimulan yung COMELEC sa ating sistema, hindi naman yan constitutional body. It is just a COMELEC, an ordinary COMELEC. So, binago yan, ginawa nilang constitutional body. Ang nangyari naman, it became subject to para daw maproteksyonan yung hindi pakialaman ng mga politiko. Ang nangyari naman, nagkaroon ng unintended consequence. Yung sindikato nakapasok sa COMELEC, hindi na natin kayo mapakialaman kasi ginagamit nila yung constitutional protections ng COMELEC para hindi sila matanggal sa impluensya nila sa loob ng COMELEC.
Napapunta ko ni Ate Gil sa kanila.
Bukas na po.
So, yan ang sinasabi natin na ginagawa natin ngayon. That is the purpose why tuwing Sunday, mula ngayon hanggang sa ma-mount na natin yung physical situation, ay magpapatuloy yung ating meeting at saka itong Zoom at saka yung Facebook at saka yung iba pa nating platforms.
I agree. I agree. So may I revise my comment on this? Maybe we can call this as a virtual Lamay ng Bayan and invite anyone to speak on what they think about COMELEC. And just like yung kay Johnny kanina, he spoke already on what other matters should be discussed. Let's call this now the virtual Lamay ng Bayan. And then for our plans on the physical Lamay ng Bayan, we can maybe give it piece by piece, but not at one time. And if, of course, if they are registered better, because then we can have an honest to goodness suggestion because they believe in what we're doing. What I would like to avoid is anybody entering our virtual Zoom and then just listening, not even giving his own ideas, whether he agrees or not, and then comes around and tries to do something that may impair the tactical plans that we have for the physical. So let's continue with this virtual. I think it should really go on as a virtual Lamay ng Bayan. And hopefully that the COMELEC officials will start listening to us kahit na dito sa virtual ng Bayan. If there's anybody who knows an official of the COMELEC, maybe you should approach them. Could you please listen every Sunday afternoon for the virtual Lamay ng Bayan? Because we will be inviting speakers to talk about what should be done in the next election and what should COMELEC do to make it a clean election, clean and honest election.
We have a new person who entered our meeting, Len, Ian, and you. So can you unmute Len and can you share your ideas with us? Yung si Ian, Len ba yan? Len New? Okay.
Len New.
Also, can you start your video so that we can at least have a face-to-face experience with you? Len, are you listening to us? Is that Len or Ian? I'm not sure. Are you able to unmute and join us and share with us?
Actually, dahil wala pa naman siya, nabanggit ni Kadyani Bintusa, ginagawa ng Gising Marlica yan. At doon namin ginawa yan sa Liwasang Bonifacio. So, noong nakaraang linggo, nagpakain sila doon yung Gising Marlica. Nanguna doon si Al. So, pwede rin yan kung doon sila kung doon tayo sa COMELEC, ang Gising Marlica dito sa Liwasang Bonifacio. Kasi bawal naman sila doon dahil hindi Freedom yon. So, Freedom Park, doon sila sa Freedom Park para walang makapagsabi na, hoy, malis kayo dyan.
Yeah, okay. Okay, now, Giancarlo, I hope you'll be saying something substantial. Okay, go ahead and talk.
Well, siguro ang message nandito is unity para mabago na talaga ang sistema natin at ipadalasan ko kayo na magkaroon tayo ng successful na Lamay ng Bayan po. Nakikita ko po na talagang ito lang din ang paraan para mabago na itong mga pangyayari ito sa COMELEC natin. Yun po. Salamat po.
Okay.
Actually, araw-araw nagdasal kayo, Carlo. So, kalamay kami, dasal kayo para bigyan ng kagandahang loob ang lamay ng bayan.
Yun po talaga.
Maraming nakikinig sa atin. May mga nagko-comment yan sa ating Facebook, katulad ni Pat Gamboa. Nakikinig sa atin yan. Sabi niya yung Constitution ay talagang outdated na. Yan nga ang ina-address din natin dito. Kaya nga tayo ay nag-advocate ng shifter parliament. And a shifter parliament with a transparent question hour will need a change of the Constitution. But we are not advocating a change of the Constitution for the sake of changing many other things in the Constitution. We are not putting the cart before the horse. The horse is the transparency of a parliamentary setup with the question hour. And that is why we are advocating that. To do that, we will have to change the Constitution to that effect.
At yan ang kasagutan ng corruption.
Oh, yan ang kasagutan ng ating systemic corruption because right now, the position of the coalition of the commons is that our system of government is not only corrupt. Corruption itself has become the government. Corruption has become the system of governance in the country. Everything can be explained by corrupt intentions and corrupt practices because talamak na masyado ang corruption from the top to the bottom. Even President Duterte himself have said na talamak ang corruption, nahirapan siyang dumepensa at gawin yung kanyang pangako na alisin ang corruption. Kasi corruption mismo ang gobyerno. Sabi nga niya sa isang State of the Nation address, I have met the enemy and the enemy is us. Recognize niya ng sistema mismo ang corrupt. Okay, Mr. Ventosa, you can speak. You recognize. Unmute. Please unmute.
No, I was saying okay. I like what you were saying about. I wasn't making a comment.
Okay, that's right. Good, thank you. Now, proceeding with other matters, the plans include the mobilization of the academic sector through the faculty of different universities. That's right. As well as the student government. Now, of these different universities in the Metro Manila area, because they are the most adjacent to the area where we will be waging our vigil. The other things that we will be doing would be include also the OFW sector. And we're making an appeal that once I think Mr. Domingo will make his address public. Those of you in the overseas Filipino groups who are supporting this effort of the Lamay ng Bayan, once it starts, we would like to ask you for donations in kind. Like magpadala ng mga balikbayan boxes na puno ng kape at creamer. Kasi sa Lamay, maraming kape yan at saka maraming inuman ng kape yan. Okay? And then also, because we will be creating a constant broadcast of the things about COMELEC and the things that are wrong about the COMELEC, maybe someone among you who are listening to us who are aware of the different videos in YouTube, like the videos of Attorney Glenn Chong exposing all of these anomalies of the COMELEC, the video of Professor Felix Muga of Ateneo exposing the 60-40, 60-30-10 patterns of the 2013 Senate vote. We will compile this, and during the survey during the Lamay ng Bayan, we will be featuring these videos and rebroadcasting this and re-streaming them here in this virtual group that we have, as well as also in the open broadcast process that we'll be doing once Lamay ng Bayan is on. Because pag on na yung Lamay ng Bayan, yung screen doon, magtatayo si Kasani doon ng isang malaking screen ipapalabas doon ng lahat ng video, ng lahat ng katiwalian ng COMELEC mula pa. Kasi para talaga ipamukha sa COMELEC na alam ng taong bayan itong mga kalokohang nangyari in the past at hindi natin papabayaan na mangyari ulit ito ngayon. Kaya dapat malaman nila yan. Ito ang main message natin sa COMELEC. Ang lahat ng tao ay nagbabantay, tumitingin sa ginagawa ninyo, at kayo din ay may mga konsensya, may mga pamilya rin kayo. Huwag kayong sumali dyan sa pandaraya na ginagawa ng mga sindikato sa loob ng COMELEC. Hindi natin nilalahat ng COMELEC. Hindi naman lahat ng COMELEC employees gago eh. Pero nandyan yung mga sinasabing rotten apples, no? Yung rotten apples sa loob ng COMELEC, mayroon niyang mga worms nandyan, kaya nabubulok. Kaya pag isang basket ng prutas ay mayroong ganyang klaseng mga worms, saka nakalagay dyan yung mga infected na mga prutas, apektado ang buong basket. Kaya hindi namin sa nilalahat kayo, pero sinasabi namin sa inyo, nandyan sa loob ninyo ang mga sindikato. Ang mga sindikatong yan ay walang ginawa kundi kalokohan. At ipagpatuloy ang kalokohan ng ating eleksyon na nabibili yung mga eleksyon ng mga oligarko at saka ng mga politiko na nagpapasa sa kaba ng bayan. And the cycle goes on and on and on. Parang yung advertisement ng energizer na baterya. It goes on and on and on and on. So ngayon, itong effort na gagawin nila Tabien at saka ating gagawin Lamay ng Bayan ni Kasani, this is an effort to put a stop to that. Sovereignty, after all, resides in us, the people. So, sabihin natin, hindi na pwede yan. Hintuan nyo na yan. Huminto na kayo. Magbago na kayo. Bagong taon na ngayon. Magpanibagong buhay na kayo dyan, kayo mga sindikato sa COMELEC. At hindi na kayo dapat makinig dyan sa mga tigalabas na smartmatic, na mga Venezuelan, na mga walang kwenta naman. Yan ang mga nanggulo sa ating 2016 election. Sila Marlon Garcia, mga Venezuelan, nakialam doon sa NE. Doon ang pag-revise nila yung NE, talagang nilagay nilang depektong yon para may rason sila makialam during the count. Ginawa nila. That NE problem was already known since December of 2015. Hindi nila tinanggal para magkaroon sila ng alibi, entry point, para pakialaman yung paghimasukan, yung pagbilang ng mga boto doon sa 2016 election. Kaya yan ang nangyari. Yung mga ganyang klaseng kalokohan, alam na yan, alam na this, alam na namin yan. Kaya sige, gawin nyo ulit yan, tingnan natin paano mangyayari. And that is what we are mobilizing the people for. That is why Lamay ng Bayan is being organized. Make them aware. Ito ang kalokohan ng COMELEC in the past. Ganito kayo ngayon. Ganito kayo noon. Ganyan pa rin ba kayo ngayon? Yan ang tinatanong natin. At yan ay dapat ninyong ipaliwanag. Yang nangyayari ngayong padded voters na yan, ipaliwanag nyo yan. Bakit ganyan? Bakit ang eleksyon, ang ating voting population ay nag-i-increase lamang ng 4 million? Tapos ang increase ng mga registrant ninyo tuwing in between elections ay 7 million tulad ngayon. Yung increase ninyo from 58 million to 65 million is 7 million voters. Saan galing yung mga yon? Noong 2019, yung increase ng botante mula 2016 hanggang 2019 ay mga less than 4 million, mga 3.8 to 4.1 million. Pero nag-increase kayo ng registrants noong 2016 to 2019 by 9 million. Who's this guy? Who's
Anson Brown. Anson Brown, he is raising his hand. Can you mute?
He's displaying a video of somebody manipulating his sex organ. There are people like that who are just entering our system to just destroy us. So we have to be vigilant. Babantayan natin yan and keep it out. That's really part of this process. You know, you have all kinds. So I'm talking about this thing, about the COMELEC. And that is known to everybody, and we're making it known to everyone. Kasi ang taong bayan, pag tuwing election, nahaharing doon sa mga magagandang rhetoric nitong mga kumakampanyang mga kandidato. Wala na ngayong nagpo-focus sa kalokohan na ginawa ng COMELEC. That focus must be made our focus. Ilagay natin sa harap ng taong bayan, ito ang mga ginawang kalokohan ng COMELEC noon. Gagawin pa rin ba nila ito ngayon?
Prof. Hill, may
Yeah.
pinadala ako kagabi doon sa messenger mo. Paki-edit mo nga para bukas i-post ko kung approve sa'yo yun.
Yes, I will look into that and then I will respond. So right now, are there any other comments in the Facebook page that we will have to respond to? May tumitingin ba sa inyo sa Facebook, yung mga comments sa Facebook?
Mel, may dapat pasagutin dyan?
Si John Dolawen is watching us from Kalinga. Si Ainer Nior is watching from Bicol. And so si Pat Gamboa has already made some comments about the Constitution that is completely flawed. We are taking cognizance of that. And he was also making comments about agreeing with what we are discussing here. So kayo dyan sa Facebook na nakikinig sa atin, you can also join our Zoom meeting itself because we already have made this invite public also there in my Facebook account, and you can join anytime. And we will be doing this also every Sunday from 7 p.m. Manila time to 9 p.m. Manila time, 2 hours. Right now, we have been in session here in this meeting for the past so many hours already. I think
1:45.
we had been here for about 1 hour and 45 minutes. We still have 15 minutes. So, meron pa bang mga ibang comment yan sa atin sa Facebook, Mel?
Actually, puro greetings lang to, sir. So, kay Kukoy Francisco, naghihingi siya ng suporta sa kampanya niya sa eleksyon. Si Rolando Borsas, straight to KDP. So, KDP is one of our ally then. And Cesar F. Padre, People Power, pag madikyo si BBM. So, yan lang mga comment niya.
Okay. Okay, so I am trying to go back to our Zoom. Am I back in Zoom? Am I being recorded?
Yeah.
Okay. Nagpunta ako sa Facebook. Ngayon, nandito na ako sa Facebook. Okay, and then there's a comment here from Aner Newer. Thank you, sir, for enlightenment. This is good information for us. God bless everyone. Okay.
Si Kasani, nag-aangat na kamay.
Oh, go ahead, Kasani.
Unmute, please. Kasani, paki-unmute.
Ayan hindi.
Okay, may tanong lang ako kay Kasani, no? May Viber group na ba tayo para dito sa Lamay ng Bayan?
Wala pa. Ito palang kauna-unahan.
O di ba yung sa ano natin sa Coalition of Comments meron na ba? Kasani?
You're unmute. You have to unmute, Kasani. Wala kang voice.
Carlo, yung katanungan mo kung may Viber tayo sa coalition, wala pa tayong Viber.
Paano? I think gusto mag-comment si Sir Johnny muna. Sir Johnny, go ahead.
Sunday, paki-unmute.
I'm unmuted. No. I just removed my mute sound. But
No,
anyway,
si Sunday, Domingo.
Hindi, nagsasalita si Johnny.
anyway, all I can say right now is that I'm so happy about this Lamay because the people have to. We have to gather people. I mean, before I used when people would get together, they would get together in big numbers. Now, well,
Yeah,
no.
we have to. That's why we are doing this. We are.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that you're doing it. Believe me, I'm so happy because the moment people see a group working, the next group is easier. The next group is easier, and to me, there's nothing like getting the public awakened. That's all.
Yes, that's what we're trying to do.
Whatever the reason, as long as the people are awakened, you don't make them move.
What
Hello?
we're trying to do here, Johnny, is to be able to awaken people at the same time, mobilize them and get involved. Like I am asking for the OFW community to send us sa Bayan boxes of coffee and creamer. Yun lang. Yung mga restaurant na marami dyan na nakikinig sa atin ngayon, pag nandiyan ang Lamay ng Bayan, yung mga hindi nyo nabenta for the night dahil naglalamay ang mga tao doon, ipadala nyo doon sa Lamay ng Bayan para may makain ng mga tao doon. So we have many activities that we can do here. Continuously, nakapundun tayo, yun ang mga gagawin natin. Siyempre, si Carlo Iway, papuntahin natin dyan kasi yung mga padalang pagkain sa atin, siya muna yung food taster, baka may maglasod sa atin eh.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah,
Can
we
you
can.
hear me now? Okay. Okay. For the update and for the information of Johnny, we are what we call on the pre-tactical stage. We are gathering some forces, some activities to be done, and all these things. So to update you, I hired a researcher, and he's been on his laptop that I borrowed from an office, listing now all the independent candidates of NCR. We're finished with that already. We're now going to the both rich regions like Region 3. The idea of inviting the independent candidates all over the country is they can come and they can ask their followers to join us there. If you're talking of having a crowd, I am more worried now about having an overcrowd rather than a crowd because we have a small space there. So we need an optimum approach, an effective approach, and an approach that even if the official is in the boardroom, he can listen to our shout. We will shout out to them. What is your reduction? What is the number of registered voters reduction you did today? How did you do it? Where and when? What is that? Have you done any cross-checking with the civil registry of the Republic of the Philippines? Are you bigger than the Republic of the Philippines? If you say you are constitutional, well, you are just a sacred horse. Like I said kanina, we can always kill the horse. Of course, now we are trying to offer you a peaceful process. And this is a peaceful process. This is Vox Populi. This is voice of the people. If there are only 10 of us, let it be. 10 of us will talk the whole day. If there will be 100 of us, then we will limit it only to 10. Now, if there will be 1,000 of us, then we will limit it only to maybe 500 to have something to eat. So there will now be a dissemination, meaning those who cannot be served coffee there will now have to stay on their Zoom, on their Facebook, and listen to us. That is the crowd that we are trying to organize. I hope I have answered that question, and I've made my update to the chairman of the Malolos Congress. Thank you.
Yes, that is what we're trying to do. And so it's clearly an incremental effort. We'll start small. And when you throw pebbles into a pond, the ripples spread out. And that's what we're trying to do until we become a big stone and then we throw it into the pond, and the pond disappears. That is what we want to do. So we are building this pebble into a big stone, so that the impact of what we do will be much bigger than what we have right now. And sabi nga nila, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. And this is one step we are taking. We know we are not, what do you call that? That English word, sanguine? Hindi tayo naive about these things na madaling gawin ito. Mahirap gawin ito, pero kahit mahirap, gagawin pa rin natin. Kasi yun ang dapat gawin eh. Kailangan gawin. So we have to do it. And this is a community effort, not only of the people back in the Philippines, but also the diaspora of Filipinos who left the country because of the hopelessness of the situation. But most of them still have their hearts and their umbilical cords connected to the country, to the Philippines. And they can also help in this effort. Ngayon, makaganti sila dito sa bansa na nagpaalis sa kanila dahil sa kawalan ng kabuhayan sa sariling bayan. The monopolies, the opportunities are controlled by oligarchs. Social mobility is sponsored by oligarchs. We have to have a real democratic setup where social mobility is open to all. Opportunities are not monopolized by oligarchs. That is what we have right now. As far as, in my point of view, the Philippines right now is oligarch territory. It's oligarch-occupied territory. And we are in the process of trying to liberate it. Go ahead, Kasani. Unmute.
Yes, yeah. Kaya ako naghirapan mag-unmute kasi the host must unmute me. Even if I keep on unmuting in my tool, if the host cannot unmute me, I cannot enter. Now, talking about the stone, I think it's a good idea. Everybody going now to COMELEC during the Lamay ng Bayan physical, starting January 15, must bring a stone the size of the farm, not so big, so that we will build the stone there until we know how many people went there with the stone, and build up a stone, and that becomes a monument of the Lamay ng Bayan.
It's okay, a stone for the edifice. It's like a cairn. It's a cairn, K-I-I-N. You know, when you have Viking burial mounds, the people who give their respects to the person buried there, puts a stone, and this stone builds up as the years go by into a cairn, a memorial to the person being commemorated. So that is what we do. That idea is good. Bring a stone for the edifice of change. Magandang idea yan, Kasani. Let's pursue that.
Yeah, pero sana wag naman natin gamitin na pambato ng bintana ng COMELEC. Pero, you know, when it is there, they know it can be used. So they better watch out.
We are a peaceful crowd. So our motto is sticks and stones may break your bones, but our words will really hurt you. Instead of saying sticks and stones may break your bones and words cannot hurt you, cannot hurt me, we say that. Our words will really hurt you kasi itong expose natin, tatamaan talaga kayo, mga lintik kayo dyan sa COMELEC na mandaraya. Hindi namin kayo tatantanan kasi gising na tayo. Hindi na pwede yung mga gagawin ninyo dati. Sabi nga sa pelikula, sabi ni Tito Soto, kumita na yan. Hindi na pwedeng kumita ulit yan. Okay? Babantayan namin kayo. And we have recourses to many things. We are aware of military people who are already frustrated about these things. And you know for a fact that civilian supremacy over the military is based on a clean mandate. It's based on the clean mandate of elections. The only reason why the military authority respects civilian supremacy is if the civilian holder of power has a real mandate from the people. If you manufacture mandates for these people and we cannot respect those mandates, why will military authority respect the civilians? There is no reason for the military authority to respect civilians whose mandates are products of a COMELEC Smartmatic syndicate. That's the message we're giving to you. And the military is also aware of this. Why will they listen to somebody who sits in office, in power, who directs them into harm's way, staking their lives for the nation, when this man or this woman does not have the clean elected mandate from the people, whose mandate was manufactured by a COMELEC Smartmatic combined? Maniniwala ba dyan ang military? Hindi na po. Pag sinabi niyong barilin ng kalaban, baka bumaliktad dyan at kayong barilin. Okay? Kaya dapat lang na matutunan nyo yan. We have mature democracies in Europe because it was a product of violence of the past. So do not let that happen to us. Let us go to that phase of a violent thing just to get these things right. You should begin to correct the situation now. Stop the plans of cheating. Prepare a real clean election. Make the election really not just credible, but really honest. Count the vote properly. Sabi ni Bill Clinton, arithmetic lang yan. Hindi kayo marunong mag-count ng arithmetic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Simple lang yan. In analyzing your padded voters, I did not use sophisticated mathematical tools. It was simple ratio and proportions and mathematics and arithmetic. And that exposes your 10 millions of padded voters there. And you have it there right now, and you are not doing anything about it. And we're asking you now to do something about it. And we will keep on doing this every Sunday until we have that thing there in front of your offices and continue doing the same thing. Okay, so I hope that the stones that will be brought by the people that will be mobilized by Kasani will not end up somewhere inside your offices. So,
No, not that way, Mr. Chairman. Not that way. What we will do is I'm sure there are many COMELEC honest employees. I know that they will start giving us the names. Who are the crooks? Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
I know that there are those who would like to give names who are the crooks also. So we will do a green tagging. Green is for growth of our nation. Then we use this stone with a green cross and stone it on them when they are outside of the COMELEC compound. That's just a fair warning.
Well, I hope you don't end up with green and red stones.
So then that will be a green tagging, not a red tagging.
Well,
9:03 na ha.
so we are almost up to our time of our slot of 2 hours, 7 to 9 p.m. The time right now is a little past a few minutes after 9. So any last comments from you or any comments we have to respond to, Mel, in the Facebook pages that we have? Go ahead, Mel. Call out these people who are making comments. Mel.
Anir, sabi niya, thank you, sir, for the enlightenment. This is a good information for us. God bless everyone.
Yes, yes. Anybody else who commented there?
Wala na, sir.
Any comment
dito
on the
kay-
green stone?
Okay.
Chairman, Mr. Chairman, can you ask if they have any comment on the green stone?
No comment on it. Wala ko nakitang comment.
They will. They are still listening to us, and so they'll do that. But any words from you, Wilma? You're silent today. Hindi ka nagsalita, Wilma. Anong mga tingin mo dito sa ating gagawin sa lamay ng bayan nila, Sani?
Natin. Lamay ng bayan natin.
Wala.
Hindi.
Yan na.
Baka
Nasasalita na si Wilma.
Baka mamamatay ko sa kalalamay dyan. Baka ko lang.
Wala, hindi ka marinig, Wilma. Ano nangyari sa'yo? Hindi ka marinig namin.
Unmute. I-unmute ng host.
May problema ang audio mo.
Unmuted na siya pero hindi marinig yung salita niya
I-post mo. You post.
Okay. Walang
Post.
marinig kami. At
Post
sinasabi,
your mic. Post your mic. You post your mic.
walang masabi si Wilma. Somebody is not allowing you to talk. Hindi ka namin marinig.
Hello?
Yan, okay na.
Marinig ka na namin. Oh,
Wala rin. Hello? Meron na po?
Wakas, narinig.
narinig ka na namin. Go ahead.
Ay, kan po?
Sige, go ahead.
Di mo lamin
Narinig
ng bayan? Oo. Kan po? Tatay po sa mga group leader, what is their idea? Para, okay po yung lamin ng bayan. Physically ba nandun? Physically o pwede na dito sa video?
You can both attend physically and also through the everyday in the site of the Lamay ng Bayan. We will be having the Zoom meeting there as well. So you can attend also by Zoom.
Opo. O sige po.
That's the way we will be conducting it. Okay, so if there are no other comments, no other things we have to respond to in Facebook, I will be moving to close the meeting now. Any other seconds so that we can proceed and meet again next Sunday. Same time, 7 p.m., 9 p.m. next Sunday. Okay, everybody, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's meet again next time.
Opo.